Only 1 week release.
Yeah. Which is a big bummer for a lot of movies, but now that just billion-dollar movies are a regular thing,
Oh, yeah.
they don't want to keep artistic or meaningful movies around when they can bring in the stuff that...
Conjuring 17 or whatever the fuck.
It's only Conjuring 4.
Yeah, but
But...
the universe
Right.
and all that shit. All right, I'm going to go do the lights here and then fix the camera because hey, look, we're not even in focus. Ew.
It's not so bad. It's just a little soft edge on our faces. The background is fairly...
Yeah, it's in there. But all right, we're gonna do the thing. A little bit more brightness on Jake. A little dark, don't you think?
Boggy 4. It looks like I have a tan.
I know.
That's not a real thing for me.
Yeah, it's called Hollywood.
Movie magic.
Yeah, look at how beautiful our complexions are in this wonderful light. So we don't look like cave dwelling troglodytes.
Hey man,
on camera.
listen,
water.
There's something. There's a liquid death in that deal.
No, I've got a whole.
How long has humanity been around? Like, how long have humans been around as the species that we are now? Millions of years, right? And
too long.
We've had civilization, and from its onset to now, over the course of like 100,000 years or more.
Yeah.
And it really has taken off over the last couple thousand years. And listen, all of that was striving towards getting out of the jungle, getting out of grass huts, moving into indoors, having real civilization, and
So we should
reading books and having the knowledge at your hands, like watching us, speaking to you, providing you with information that you can.
We
know
are
and
the
learn.
pinnacle of all
And you
society.
can't get that outside where you get a friggin' suntan. You know what you
Or
get?
you get Lyme disease.
You get melanoma.
You get alpha gal.
You get ringworm.
You get ringworm.
Yeah, you get the alpha gal from the tick bites. You get
melanoma.
I said
melanoma.
You get the things that mosquitoes give you in all of its forms, all of its terrible things. But you know what you have inside? You have AC, you have safety, you have your means of eating, and some people now working, but you have all of the knowledge at your fingertips with books and internet and so many things, and civilization has all pointed us towards being inside, staying away from predators, being the best that we can be. And you don't get any of that outside. Outside, you are in the middle of the food chain. You are nothing.
You are not the apex predator.
Yeah, you're a weak species that will burn in the sun, and you don't survive.
You are weak.
You have to cook your food. Nothing else has to do that. Inside gives you everything you need, and it's not going to be me that goes against everything that every human that's come before us has striven towards to be outside. Screw that. When you are outside, you know what you're supposed to be doing? Being inside of a car or a train or a bus.
Now, I wouldn't go that far. I had lunch outside today.
We found ways to make sure we can go from inside to inside while we're inside of something to convey us to that other place. You should never be outside.
So what you're telling me right now is you would really thrive on a space colony.
Dog.
You would be like, sign me up.
I'm going to let you in on something.
Moon Marshal me up.
I love indoors. Everything I enjoy is indoors. Books, movies, video games, art. Everything is indoors.
R-rated movies, X-rated movies, all indoors, dude.
Yeah, you know what you can't do when you're outside? Enjoy an X-rated movie.
Tug it and go to bed. You can't do that outside. Yeah. You get in trouble, dude.
Humans as we know them may be 13,000 years old. Well, and that's what I'm saying. Like, everything is pointed towards this, and we're at the pinnacle. Why revert now? We need to go forward. We need to have the space colonies. We need to live the sci-fi. It's Star Trek Day. Celebrate Star Trek.
Wait, today is Star Trek Day?
It's Star Trek Day.
Well, geez Louise.
I was going to talk about it in the news, but here we are, because you know what? stay indoors. You know what happens in Star Trek? Every time they go outdoors, they go on the outside of a planet, bad things. Red shirts die.
Well,
bad
that's
things
true.
happen.
They're environmental suits. They need air. You know, Star Trek, they went to a surprisingly large amount of planets with an atmosphere.
Well, yeah, they would only go to M-class planets.
Okay.
There,
Is that what an M-class planet is? Something that has like a breathable,
hospitable atmosphere, yeah.
But like, what about all the aliens that breathe just like bad stuff? I mean, certainly that there was species that like, our air is farts, and you can't live here.
Who were the refrigerator guys from Deep Space Nine? The guys that teamed up with the Cardassians? The refrigerator dudes?
Yeah, they sucked.
Yeah, there's them. They're awful. The Breen. Thank you, Star Punch. They sucked, and that's why everyone was like, these guys suck, because they were from like a harsh planet and they were mean. Yeah. And then you have like the weird like spider animorphs things that were like the bad guys.
Or the blurbs
from the wrong dimension, because they fought the Borg.
What was the goo? The bad goo ones?
The changelings?
The changelings.
But yeah, but their planet had a hospitable
was
atmosphere.
it though? I thought their planet was just like a puddle.
Well, that was all of them.
Oh.
They lived together in a society that was a puddle. But remember, because they go to that planet, and there's like the puddle makes way for a rock for them to stand on. Yeah. Species 8472, dude, Star Punch, right there with all the Star Trek stuff. Yeah, they suck because they're from a different dimension that's inhospitable to everyone. Even the Borg have a hard time acclimating to that dimension, so they hate Species 8472.
I don't remember Species 8472.
They were the weird, like,
oh, was
they
that
had all the legs, and they were like really big.
Okay.
They looked like the aliens from Animorphs when they were in their real centaur form.
I remember now.
They were CGI, and they weren't fantastic, but that was, they weren't there much. But they were the ones that could change shape, and they infiltrated Starfleet Academy and all that stuff. You remember?
I do remember that.
Yeah. Because they had that fake Starfleet Academy that they were like
they set up
doing all their plans and everything.
I remember now. Okay, well, I'm gonna go close that door because that fan is loud. I'm gonna get it silent in here, and then we'll start this sumbitch. We'll just do it. We'll just do the show. Pre-show's fun. It's easy to just get lost in it. Oh wait, I needed to. The computer restarted and redid its thing, so I got to make sure all my levels are looking good.
What's crazy is that restarts always happen when you don't want them to, even if you have it turned off.
Yeah, they're just like, we're going to do it now. You don't have to. It's optional. And you're like, all right, maybe not now. And they go, how about now? How about now? How about now? How about now? How about now?
My phone did that to me the other day. I had like all these things open that I didn't want to lose. And it was like, time to update. And I said, no. And I told it like 3 times. And it goes tough. And it just
we're just doing it anyway.
Yeah. Windows 8. That's the gross one. Ugh. Windows 8 is so awful. Wow, dude, just closing that door, you got rid of all of that noise.
Yep.
That's wild.
Isn't that crazy? Sound guy shit. Okay.
Why would anyone use Windows 8? That was when they were like, what if Windows was a cell phone? Like a bad cell phone from that time.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. You remember the Windows Phone?
It was 8.1. Yeah.
It wasn't. Honestly, that wasn't a bad OS.
8.1?
No, the Windows Phone.
Oh.
Yeah.
I had the old HTC 8525 and
Dude,
8925.
HTC.
It ran Windows on it. That was back when that was the
HTC was so cool.
It used to be.
Okay, we're gonna do the thing that we always do. I'm gonna switch over to this cam, and then we're gonna kill this music like this, and then I'm gonna play our theme song, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna actually start the recording of the podcast. So, yeah, we'll see you in just a second.
the top stars from Hollywood and from all over the world to entertain you on a giant screen with the few colorful motion pictures you've been hearing about and reading
It's
about.
showtime, folks. Enjoy the show.
We're delighted to have you with us. They're driving theater.
You'll find something to please you to add to your evening's enjoyment.
Is pleased to bring you our feature presentation.
Good evening, everyone. What's going on? It is 8 o'clock. It is, what is this, September? It is September 8th?
Yeah, it's September 8th, Star Trek Day.
Oh, why September 8th?
Because that is the anniversary of its first airing in the U.S.
Okay, I thought that maybe it would be like one of those May the 4th be with you kind of things.
No, it's like a real thing. It's the anniversary of the first airing in the U.S. because it had aired a little earlier in Canada. Star Trek also has all sorts of holidays, man. It has this one. It has Picard Day, and the one where the Vulcans came and
I thought
First Contact.
Well, what's the day where they discovered warp? Like,
that's First Contact.
That's First Contact Day?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Because
then the Vulcans come down.
Drunky Doctor Man gets out there and he hits warp, and then the Vulcans are like,
oh, now's time to shut this shit down. Put the brakes on it. So Merle over on Twitch went ahead and redeemed some points. Gonna for those of you that are listening along at home on the podcast, if you're not watching the video, you can follow along. You can follow along this on YouTube Live, Facebook Live, Twitch. We like Twitch because there's a lot of interactive stuff, but he redeemed the Bo Takes a Sip. So cheers to Merle. I'm going to be drinking some Teeling small batch Irish whiskey tonight. So bottoms up, guys. But good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is a Driving Speed Rocks podcast. If you don't know, if you haven't listened to this before, then welcome to it. We're going to be talking about movies for the next hour. I'm your host, Bo, the Boom Operator, if we haven't already said it.
Slick Doggy the Grip.
And we're going to be talking about movies. It's been 2 weeks, so forgive my jelly brain. Vince over on Twitch asks how the trip was, because I was gone last week. I was actually at this program called Tiki by the Sea. It's pretty cool. You know, if you can see my neon cocktails and dreams sign up there. For those of you that don't know, I am a bartender, bar owner by trade. Do love the cocktail industry, and it was good. I was in Wildwood, New Jersey, which I had no idea, because obviously I don't live in the northeastern states, but it's cool. It's just like this old 1950s beach town, and there's all these like mid-century modern hotels and stuff that have been really well kept and preserved, and lots of cool signs. That boardwalk that looks like vampires would live there. Very Lost Boys. Wildwood is really cool. Dean on Twitch just says you were close to me. That place is so cool. Wildwood is very cool. And that's where I was last week. So definitely had a great time. Good to be back, though. So over the past week, I saw 2 movies. I saw the new Toxic Avenger film, as well as the new Conjuring Last Rites film, which we're going to be talking about tonight. What about you, Jake? Did you see any of the things?
I watched Toxie.
And you got the bucket.
I did.
You got the old Toxic Avenger popcorn bucket.
Dude, I sure did.
When I went to AMC, they didn't have any.
They had one sitting up in the back, and it was kind of hidden. It was not out for people to know that it was there. And I go, how much is that thing? And they're like, less than a regular large popcorn. And I said, yes.
Oh, well, cool. That's crazy. This very cool.
And it came with a large popcorn.
Did they only have like 6 of them?
I don't know. He went to the back and got it for me.
That's so crazy.
But they just had the one sitting out there, barely visible, way in the back. But I was like, dude, that's pretty cool. So,
and they had the advertisement. It was like, get your Toxic Avenger popcorn bucket. But I guess like nobody was in there. So
yeah, no. But yeah, pretty cool.
It's very cool. I was jealous, but I'm glad you got it, because it's probably going to live here, because we both live in small apartments and we put all of our dumb movie bullshit. It like sort of
my
impromptu purchases. Here they are, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, if you think this is something, there's a whole bunch of other stuff.
There's a whole other shelf over there.
Then, at
and
home.
then over there. And then, yeah.
This is kind of what my home looks like.
I mean, you see the life-size Evil Ash that I'm working on over there. You see him over there?
Yeah, coming together.
Yeah, it's coming together. Anyway, we're dorks, and we're going to talk to you about movies. So buckle up. But before we do that, let's talk about the news. It's been a couple of weeks. Things have happened. I don't know if you saw the trailer to Matt Mikkelsen's new horror movie, because I do love Matt Mikkelsen. He's so awesome. But they're getting a lot of the cast to Hannibal back together, which is kind of cool. Brian Fuller is reunited with Mads, which is awesome. And they're doing Dust Bunny, which... I mean, Brian Fuller is fantastic. He's visually just a really great director. If you're not familiar with his work, I highly recommend go check out Brian Fuller's stuff. And anything with Mads in is okay by me. So looking forward to that.
Yeah. What about that one movie that's like where he's the dude trying to stop that like attack or whatever because he's the army guy, and it's just like those dudes like weirdly sexually abusing that other guy. Like
I don't know if I remember this.
It was that like revenge movie because his like daughter gets her bicycle stolen or something. You remember? It came out a couple years ago. It's a weird movie. I'm gonna have to look that one up. It looked so cool, and then you watch the movie. I'm like, this is not at all what they told us.
Well,
this movie was going to be.
The Bruce Willis Death Wish kind of.
That one wasn't bad though.
Well, I mean, it wasn't bad, but
I'm not saying this Matt Mikkelsen's movie is bad either, but it was not exactly what was advertised.
Well, another advertisement that there's more trailers coming out. The new Benoit Blanc movie with Daniel Craig.
Did you watch that trailer?
I did, and I think I saw like an early review and people saying that this is going to be better than Glass Onion. Which they shouldn't be hard to do.
They let it. They debuted it at Toronto International Film Festival, and a lot of people really like it. And they're like, dude, this thing is dark.
So is it gonna be in theaters, or is it just gonna be another one of these dumb Netflix?
It's gonna be in theaters November 26th, and then it's coming to Netflix on the 12th of December. So they're gonna have 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks in the theater before it's available on Netflix.
Okay, all right. Because I think that just going direct to Netflix is a stupid move. But speaking of theatrical releases, Toxic Avenger was only out there for like 9 days, and then it was out. So, what do you got in the news? What you got over there?
Oh man, well,
I'm just gonna drink more whiskey.
Yeah, you already hit it with that Knives Out 3 Wake Up Dead Man thing, and hey, since today is Star Trek Day. They debuted on all major podcasting platforms a con audio drama, and it takes place sometime after Star Trek II, Wrath of Khan, because it is about Sulu and Tuvok underneath Sulu returning to
Tuvok?
Yeah. Well, because
arguably the worst Vulcan.
Well, so he was like in the crew in a scene of one of the Star Trek movies, and then he later became Tuvok for Voyager. Yeah. But Tim Russ and George Takei are doing voices in this audio drama. It's audio drama, and it's them. The Excelsior is returning to the planet where they picked up Khan in Wrath of Khan. And they're trying to figure out how him and his like tribe survived on that planet or whatever, because it got like the sun imploded or whatever, and it got bumped over and it was out of orbit of the other sun or something like that, and so it became a desert wasteland. It was like a lush planet that they got stranded on purpose so that they had every chance to survive, because it was like the perfect M-class planet. But then in Star Trek II, it turns out it got bumped a little and became a desert wasteland, and it was hard for them to survive. And they put the earworms into a Chekhov.
I do remember that one, the earworms.
So it's them returning to this planet to figure that out, and I guess they'll uncover some of the mysteries of Khan. Might be cool as long as they don't retcon too many things.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. Also talking about the big con, Mortal Kombat 2 has been moved.
What?
By almost more than 7 months.
Whoa, that's a big. Usually they're like, all right, we're pushing the release date, and it's like 3 weeks.
Yeah. Nope. The end of May. or a mid-May, May 15th.
That's a bold date, because that's right when graduation's starting to hit. That's the beginning of summer blockbuster season. There must have been like a sweet and juicy date where they're like, no, we're gonna put it there for pivotal like ticket sales.
Yeah,
that's the
who knows. But the thing is, Warner Brothers had that trailer out with old Carl Urban and everything, and people were like, dude, okay, maybe I'm on board.
Hype's getting started
this looks
now,
cool.
right?
There's no what was his name? Joe Dingus as who was the main character? Cole Young. Joe Dingus, Cole Young, same thing. They're like, there's no Cole Young at all. This could be cool. It's only real Mortal Kombat characters that we've cared about since the 90s. Maybe this will be something. And then now they're like, nope, May next year. So
wanting to hit I was about to talk about a horror movie, but there was a comment over on YouTube from Tony. He said, should one go as Creeper from Jeepers Creepers for Halloween? Or did Victor Salva's Deeds make it a no-go? I don't think people are going to know who you are.
Just go as Justin Long from Jeepers Creepers.
I think Jeepers Creepers is one of those movies that has kind of faded from popularity in terms of, like, right now, current horror is moving at such a rapid pace, and there's a lot more people getting into modern horror. But some of those old, like Jeepers Creepers, that was a part of that sort of creature feature, monster bad guy era, I don't think enough people know what it is. And I mean, it's a cool costume, especially if you can get the face thing to work. I knew a guy that did one, and he had a button that would go and like open his face up.
Yeah, which version of the Jeepers Creepers too? Like the first movie or like one of the later ones too, right? Because didn't they make a couple of like
I think there was some
as big of a budget ones?
Twitch, but Star Butcher said he'd like to go as Billy Zane from Demon Knight. I love Demon Knight, so that
Billy Zane from anything.
That movie is really good.
Be Phantom. Before you get into your horror movie, something else video game related. Street Fighter, the movie, just started filming in Australia. They assembled the cast, and they did almost a complete cast photo, except for Roman Reigns, who I think had not arrived yet.
Okay.
It is planned on being released October next year. So Mortal Kombat has been finished or whatever, and now it's being pushed all the way to May next year. And Street Fighter, from start of production to release date, is barely over
the fact that we're getting a Street Fighter movie and a Mortal Kombat movie in theaters in the same year, and it's 2025, is... I don't know if that's neat or if that's just really, really, really sad.
Merle asked, are we still doing M. Bison? M. Bison is being played by... Das Malchin.
Okay.
He is not a big man, and I don't know how that's
Why do they
going to
keep making M. Bison so stupid? I mean,
Bison is supposed to be like super jacked and have his Psycho Crusher. And I don't think that Das Malchin is going to be.
And isn't M. Bison supposed to be some sort of like Iron Curtain looking dude?
Yes, he's supposed to be like a massive Russo
like
Nazi.
Ivan Drago. Like why
Yes.
why is Dolph Lundgren not playing M. Bison? You know, even in his old age, like just an old M. Bison.
He would be a very good Bison.
He would be a good Bison.
Just put like weird contacts and have him do Psycho Crusher, and it would be super perfect.
Because I mean, I think we got on the like Raul Julia is a small dude, and he was Bison, and then that piece of shit.
Yeah, but he had gravitas.
Presence. Yeah, gravitas.
Yeah, like,
but he, but then you had that turd Neil McDonough playing M. Bison, and he just looks like a dick. He's not like an imposing guy,
right?
Yeah. So why are we not why have we not cast that correctly?
You have him playing M. Bison, and then you have professional wrestler Cody Rhodes being Guile. You have professional wrestler Roman Reigns being Akuma. You have Jason Momoa being Blanca. And then 50 Cent is Balrog.
What?
The real M. Bison. Yeah.
50 Cent?
Yes.
Like, is he ripped right now?
I don't know. Listen, the cast for this movie looks like absolute garbage.
Shop.
Like, they were just like, name. And like, well, do they look anything like them? And they're like, I think we got Cody Rhodes like pretty good, and then they have like some weird skinny kid playing Ken, and then they have that dude, the dude from Bullet Train that was like the main character guy that kind of sucked. The Japanese, like the guy whose daughter was in the hospital that was like the whole thing. He's Ryu.
Okay, no. No.
The whole cast is just like a hard no, except like Cody Rhodes being Guile is the only part of any of it that makes any sense to me. Maybe maybe the girl playing Cammy, I can't remember. But there's gonna be like 16 characters or something in it. They all are so miscast. They're all so miscast. It's gonna be god awful. It's gonna be the worst thing.
We don't need to make this dumbass movie.
So yeah, we're gonna get a dumbass Mortal Kombat movie again. We're gonna get a dumbass Street Fighter movie. But who cares? It's video. Oh, one more video game movie news bit, and then talk about your horror thing.
Okay.
Call of Duty is getting its big screen treatment, right? And Steven Spielberg put in a bid. He made a pitch for what he wanted to do with the Call of Duty movie to Microsoft. He's like, check this out, Microsoft, because Microsoft owns Activision. And he was like, this is what I want to do. And what's crazy about that, first, they said no, right? Like the guys at Activision were like, we don't think we like what Steven Spielberg wants to do with our property. And they were like, that's a whole thing. But what's crazy is that Steven Spielberg created an entire gaming studio to get Medal of Honor off the ground, which was the rival to Call of Duty. And Medal of Honor was based on his work he did while filming Save It Private Ryan. And like the whole thing is, and Call of Duty came around after that based on Medal of Honor. So Steven Spielberg is the like genesis of Call of Duty, and they told him no. There's so many layers of like weird, crazy, like video game and movie and a connection and a disconnection, and it's wild. I think that's crazy.
I think I lost some of that. There was a lot of information.
Steven Spielberg got told no, and he's the reason that Call of Duty exists because he's the reason that Medal of Honor exists.
But how old is he now?
So old.
Because I think that's the part where, when these Scorseses and Spielbergs and what's the guy who got in trouble for kissing all the girls on Megalopolis? Francis Ford Coppola. They're like these old fucking codgers in their 80s that are like, oh, what's a good director? We're gonna do it this way. And they're like, okay, Grandpa, let's just let's put you on set, put your name on it, and then just go to your trailer. And I feel like that's probably what's happening with Steven Spielberg. But what I was going to say, horror related, is have y'all seen the trailers to the Black Phone 2? There's more of these trailers coming out. And the more the trailers come out, the more they're trying to turn this movie into a Nightmare on Elm Street. And it's kind of weird. The first movie was this, Ethan Hawke was this guy who wore this mask and he just kidnapped kids, put them in this basement and would like murder on them, and like dispose of their bodies. And this one kid who I guess was kind of clairvoyant or whatever, this phone would ring. It was called Black Phone. And it would ring and he answered and it was like all these dead kids, like signs giving him hints on how to like escape and maybe kill this dude because they've all tried and they all learned something individually about their trying to escape, but they all ended up getting killed. And so through all their ghosts helping this boy, he was able to escape and kill Ethan Hawke.
They were like the little notes left in Dark Souls.
Yes, essentially. But this movie is like, okay, well, now that Ethan Hawke's character is dead, he's now a ghost, but now he's Freddy Krueger. And so if you fall asleep, he's like gonna get at you and beat you up in your sleep. And I'm like, this is too Freddy Krueger-ish. Let's just...
child murderer that haunts dreams.
Yes, child murderer that haunts...
Exactly Freddy Krueger.
Right? and so all it makes me want is a proper Freddy Krueger animated series because
they talked about
was it Robert Englund said that he would never reprise that role again unless it was just the voice.
Oh man, and Robert Englund's so good at doing stuff like that. I really like
I'd watch
Robert
that
Englund.
bitch.
No, that's the Balchinian dude from
well, no, that's where he got it from. It's Freddy Krueger. There was a handful of times where he's just like, we'll see you next time, bitch. And
Yeah.
everybody thought that was funny because Freddy said bitch.
But he was a nasty guy.
He was a nasty guy. He's a nasty guy. That Freddy Krueger. That's the nasty guy.
He's a nasty guy.
But I don't want to see Black Phone 2 turn into Freddy Krueger. I want to see another Freddy Krueger.
Remember when Megan
The animated
2
series.
tried to turn Megan into
Terminator?
And everyone was like, that could be cool, and then no one watched it?
No one watched it.
It might be like that.
Well, I liked the first Black Phone. A lot of horror movies coming out right now because they're cheap and easy to make. Speaking of Wednesday season 2, the final part just came out. I've been trying to watch that. I got one more episode in. It's like gets me into the spooky season mood, even though it's like tacky and Hogwarts meets Sabrina the Teenage Witch. You know, it's very, very inappropriate probably for a man of my age and stature to be just like going, hang on, I'm going to be watching Wednesday season 2. I can't help it. It's so
clip
yummy.
from it where someone hands her like a thing, and it's like a "you're gonna get yours" thing, and she goes, "Who gave this to you?" And they go, "That guy." And there's like this dude covered in blood who's just like, and
He's not covered in blood. He's
whatever.
wearing scrubs.
Okay, well he's dirty and scary looking, and he's obviously psychopathic and like glaring at this woman, and everyone else is just walking by him like it's not a problem at all.
He can be charming. You don't know. He's a hide.
When someone is just like in the middle of a populated place, and there's someone like
It was a
like
little
this,
silly.
then everyone else is like not
the-
getting involved.
The premise of Wednesday is absolutely ridiculous because they exist in a world where they're like, yeah, all the vampires and werewolves go to Nevermore.
Where
That's
the
like
Adam
a school.
Sandler's the least weird thing.
Yes, absolutely. And people are just like accepting of it. But I've been watching season 2. It's stupid, but I kind of like it. They just tried to recreate the whole dance thing from season 1 that was so viral, and did it with a different character. And Lady Gaga did a new like Thriller wannabe song, and you know,
Lady Gaga.
dude, Lady Gaga's in season 2. She's this ghost lady.
Okay.
Anyway, that's in the horror tip. Speaking of horror, we're going to talk about it a little bit more later. But The Conjuring is making literally all of the money. I'm going to be talking about that movie here in just a moment. Before we get into or out of the news section, the new 28 Years Later Bone Temple trailer dropped this week. I saw it.
Another one.
It's a new trilogy. They filmed them like together.
Oh.
And this one is kind of I don't know how it's a follow-up film because it looks like it's a prequel but a sequel at the same time. I don't know. The timeline is really weird, but it actually looks better than the 28 Years Later that I watched last. But I don't want another trilogy out of this. I want them to wrap it up. I don't have a whole lot of news I really want to jump at before we start talking about what's in theaters this week.
Well, we got a couple of other interesting things here. Sylvester Stallone and Alan Ritchson are teaming up for a Netflix movie about a Navy SEAL, and it's co-written by Alan Ritchson.
He's writing now?
Yeah. So that's kind of cool.
Okay. I mean, I do like him. He is I think if he plays his card right, you know, he and dare I say, because no one will ever be another Arnold Schwarzenegger, but, you know, in that role of just like a charming, huge, just
Alan Ritchson's
action
awesome
dude.
And it's not yet titled, but he's playing some sort of Navy SEAL in Vietnam, and I wonder what Stallone's gonna be. Because is he going to be a Green Beret dude? Is he going to be Rambo?
Oh,
I mean, he's not going to be Rambo. He's too old to be Rambo during Vietnam.
Do anything other than sit in a chair. And
but he could be like who's Rambo's like the dude Trap. It starts with
his like handler.
Yeah,
That guy.
Stallone could be like that dude.
Okay.
He's like, he had one job, kill. Period. You know, that would be super rad. Speaking of Stallone, the Cliffhanger remake has not yet been released.
Good.
And they're already talking sequel.
No, what? No.
Yeah. And so they're like, dude, let's make a sequel to this movie that hasn't come out for the movie that never spawned a sequel because it did not really take off.
It was Sylvester Stallone climbing.
No, that's not the movie. It's about
Yeah, please enlighten me on what it's about.
what's his name? Help me out here. The guy from Third Rock from the Sun.
No.
The guy that writes children's books.
I know who
he's
I know
in
who you're talking
Dexter.
about.
He's the murder man.
He's in Harry and the Hendersons.
Yes,
We
he's
all
in
know.
Harry and the Hendersons.
It's
John Lithgow. It's about John Lithgow
Y'all
being,
aren't supposed to let him know that one was an
being evil with an ambiguous accent, and the F word just being thrown around like it means nothing.
That movie.
And then
is so
Stallone
dumb.
climbing a mountain to beat up people. Yeah, and Michael Rooker's in the beginning of it, kind of, because he gets murdered real quick. Cliffhanger, in retrospect, is pretty sick, but at the time, not a lot of people cared about that movie.
I mean, it's kind of a lot like Daylight, right? So Daylight was Sylvester Stallone trapped in a tunnel and then gets out of the tunnel. The movie, and Cliffhanger's like Sylvester Stallone's like on a mountain and climbs to the top to solve the problem. The movie.
Isn't Daylight that movie on Netflix with Will Smith fighting the fairies and orcs?
No, that's some other light. It's not. I don't think it's Daylight. It's hang on. Well, now you got me. Now you got me questioning. Bright. See, okay. I knew I wasn't wrong.
Yeah, but so anyhow, they're making a remake of Cliffhanger, which does not need to be done,
No,
and
it
now
doesn't.
they're already talking sequel, which is crazy. They're
Could it be because they wrote it to be a cliffhanger?
oh
Womp.
wow, get out of here! Not you, the people writing that movie, because you know they already thought that. Speaking of insane sequels, they are making a sequel to The Last Witch Hunter. You know that movie with Vin Diesel from
Isn't
a
the title
decade
The Last Witch Hunter?
Yeah. So a movie from a decade ago
God.
is getting a sequel now. A movie that nobody watched. I watched it.
I mean, I watched it too, of
Yeah.
course.
A movie that nobody watched. And they're making a sequel more than a decade later. That's insane. What they're just so out of ideas. They're like, remember that movie we did that no one liked? Sequel. They do the James Cameron thing. They go and they write a title and everyone goes, and then he writes 2 and they're like, hey, sold. Alien $. Sold.
Vince on Twitter's like, one more witch hunting job.
Yeah.
And that's Jason Statham.
Vin Diesel and Michael Caine are both reprising their roles.
Wait, Michael Caine? 94-year-old Michael Caine?
Yeah.
Michael, this has got to be the last witch hunter.
Yeah. So also,
I told you, Vin, it's the last time.
sequels that are going to be poop.
Michael Caine.
James Gunn's already out there talking about Superman 2. It's going to be called...
Of course he is, because money.
It's going to be called Man of Tomorrow, and it will be being released July 9th, 2027.
Wait, so we're skipping 2026 altogether? What other bullshit do they have coming
No, they
out?
got other DC stuff coming out, but also there's been all these pictures of Superman and Peacemaker together, and everyone's like, it's happening. It's all connected DC style. So, yeah, that's all super dumb and stupid, but you knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
Something interesting, we learned that Denzel's name is not Denzel. It's Denzel. So that's just fun for people to know.
No, is
Yes.
he like trolling us all of
No.
a sudden? He's just like, you guys have been saying it wrong the whole time. I didn't correct anybody, but it's actually Denzel. I
Yeah.
think that there is just one of those things that
Well, that's just like
it's his name is no longer, it's public domain. Like his name is now Denzel because we said so.
there's several like that. Like what's old dude's name?
Denzel.
The Goblin, the Green Goblin.
Are you talking about Willem Dafoe?
Yeah, Willem Dafoe. He said
Willem Dafoe.
Dafoe.
Who?
And his name is William, but his family called him like someone called him Willem or whatever, so he just went with it. And people said his last name is Duffo, and so he went with that too. Because there's this crazy old video from like the 70s or whatever where he goes, "Yeah, my name's William Dafoe," and then it became Willem Dafoe. So there's
And
all out there.
That's what it is, man. You
But as
can't
soon as-
change it now.
Yeah, people take it. So yeah,
You done did it. All right. Well, let's talk about what's coming out in theaters this week because we got a lot of stuff to cover. Movies come out every single week. They usually come out around Thursday. If you want to not beat the crowds, which haven't been a thing since 2021 in theaters, you can always go see them on Thursdays. But we've got some new movies coming out this week. There's a handful, actually.
there's one that I am very, very excited about.
Downton Abbey, the grand finale.
Actually, I heard that it is getting the highest ratings of any of the movies.
Well, I mean, I know that you're a big Downton Abbey fan,
Huge.
and you've kept up with everything happening at the Abbey, yeah, it's coming out. It's the grand finale. It's
How are they going to go forward without Maggie Smith?
we will find out. But if you watch Downton Abbey, if you've kept up with the saga, the legacy, the laughs, the tears, like Jake has, I haven't at all. But it's coming out. It's coming out this weekend. You can definitely check it out and see it. Also coming out, another horror, Stephen King written horror film with Cooper Hoffman and David Johnson. It's The Long Walk. This movie actually, I think, looks kind of interesting. It's
Dude, evil Mark Hamill.
Evil Mark Hamill, baby. Sign me up. And David Johnson and Cooper Hoffman, I think, are, as you want to throw that up-and-comer deal. I mean, they're not up-and-comers anymore, but I think we're going to see very long, awesome careers out of these two guys. And Ben Wang, who is starting to show up in a lot of films lately. He was just most recently in The Karate Kid, the legacy, what is it?
The poop.
Legends, whatever it was.
The poop one.
Yeah.
Well, the second poop one, because next Karate Kid, of course. Star Punch brings up a good point that I was going to talk about. Did you see that treadmill
screening where it's like you had to walk on a treadmill and maintain at least 3 miles an hour for the whole movie, and if you stopped, you had to leave.
Yeah.
That's not hard.
Dude, but they showed people getting escorted out, though.
Yeah, because America is fat and out of shape and horrible.
That's 2.5 hours of steady walking.
It's not 2.5. It's 1 hour and 48 minutes.
Oh, well, they said, I think they made them do trailers, and because in that...
Oh, you had to do the trailer?
In the video for it, they said it's 2.5 hours of steady walking. So maybe they did trailers too, or maybe they just said 2 hours. I mean,
I've walked on a treadmill for 2 hours, and at 3 miles an hour, that's not that hard. But
I mean, they have a movie they're getting to watch.
I mean, that's true. And it's like, how can you not make it? Like, I don't know. But you know, I work in my bar that's here in Fayetteville. It's a basement bar, so there's 14 steps to get in and out of this place. And everybody's like, oh my God, these steps. But however will I get out of here? And they're like, and like trying to get up the flight of stairs. And I hear them all the time because my desk is underneath it like Harry Potter. And I sit down there and I listen to, oh dear God, these stairs.
I live on the second story, and I'm struggling by the time I get to the top of it, and I walk that dude every day. So I understand that, but I'm old. I'm old.
Well, I don't know about that, but The Long Walk's coming out in theaters. And then speaking of old people, this week is finally the release of
Tonight We're Gonna Rock You. Tonight We're Gonna Rock You. Tonight We're Gonna Rock You. Tonight.
Spinal Tap 2. The End Continues.
I already looked at buying my tickets. I would have bought them earlier, but I want to take my parents with me to go watch it.
So how long ago was this original movie? Was it like 40,000 years ago when
What
first
year did Spinal Tap come out? Like 80 something, right?
The bigger the good, the sweeter the push. Yeah, 1984. It's 40 years. So this movie is basically saying after a 15-year break from the band, they are reuniting for one more concert, which I think is very timely because there's a lot of that happening right now. There's a lot of like aging bands that are going on tour and doing this thing because we're all stuck in this perpetual like machine of nostalgia because no one can think of anything new. And I think that Christopher Guest is hilarious. Like, he is an amazing writer. And Rob Reiner coming back and directing and starring in this again. I think this movie's going to be hilarious.
Oh man, the trailers for it make it look so good. And I've been watching their interviews, their press junket stuff they've been doing. Perfect.
But the thing about Christopher Guest comedy, it's not for everyone. You know, it's not going to be one of these movies where people come in and they're like spitting their drink out funny. Like Christopher, I mean, you don't watch Best in Show.
Maybe not normies, but I'm going to be real tickled.
That's what I'm saying. Normies, like normie humor. This is not the movie. This is not The Hangover. Okay. But Christopher Guest writes fantastic movies. His sense of humor is fantastic. A Mighty Wind fantastic. Best in Show, fantastic. Waiting for Guffman, fantastic. Like, this dude knows how to write. And just seriously. What's the one? The Mighty Wind reminds me of Fayetteville a lot. Or like 15-year ago Fayetteville, when everybody was like, had super folk hard-ons. Like, you know.
When Fayetteville wanted to be Big Eureka?
Yes, exactly. Anyway, I'm excited about Spinal Tap. I think it's going to be fun. I also want to see Long Walk. So I'd say of all the ones that I'm going to make time for, Spinal Tap, definitely going to go see that. But if I happen to see Long Walk before then, I'll report back.
Yeah, I am big jazzed about Spinal Tap, which reminds me.
Are you booking your tickets right now?
No, well, like I said, I'm texting my dad.
We're like, hey, Pop, we got to get those tickets. We got to get them soon. All right. Well, let's talk about movies. Let's talk about movies that we saw, movies that were in theaters this week. Let's talk about Toxic Avenger because it's no longer in theaters. It was only in theaters for 1 week. This movie was actually made in 2023, just now getting a release. Macon Blair. We'll find out later that it was Macon. We don't know. Lloyd Kaufman, of course, with a cameo, in the film.
Yeah. There was a couple of little things for original Toxie stuff. Not too much.
Not too much. So this movie, of course, is a reimagining of the Toxic Avenger character, which kind of put Troma Studios on the map. For those of you that may or may not know, the B budget sort of they kind of made schlocky B movies. I would say that the Troma Studios was here's a better analogy. I'd say that Lloyd Kaufman was the Ed Wood of the 80s. Would that be a fair assessment?
But less popular.
But even less popular than Ed Wood. So, these movies, these Troma movies, they are notorious for being just shark jumpy and very self-aware and goofy and low budget and ridiculous. And this one actually had a budget. It was like, what if we make a Toxic Avenger film? What if we have the same sort of humor, the same sort of whatever, but we throw a huge budget at it and get some really, really talented actors to be in it? And my short sentence is, I thought this movie was a lot of fun. I think Peter Dinklage did a great job as the Toxic Avenger, even though they changed his character up.
Oh, man, they changed absolutely every single aspect of him except for the green skin.
But I think they had to make a story, because the one thing that Troma movies don't have is any sort of plot that sort of ties it together.
What they did do was they took everything that original Toxic Avenger was, and then they were like, but what if it was woke or whatever? That was the weird part, was that
I didn't think it was that woke.
No, not that woke. As woke as like Lloyd Kaufman and Troma are willing to be.
Yes.
But they were like, hey, that's not okay. You should be cool. Which is what Toxic Avenger had done in the first place, but in like a very targeted towards B movie audience thing. But there was a lot of stuff in this movie.
I mean, they had the little handicapped kid in a helmet that dude was pointing the Uzi at, and
Yeah, but like, this was not Toxic Avenger, and it was not Troma movies. If you've watched a Troma movie, this is not the same at all.
I don't know. The scene where he
Troma adjacent.
Did you like the I'd say the most Troma scene of the movie was, there was a scene where he goes in. It's his first time to try and prove that he can be a good guy, and he goes in. There's a burglary happening at this burger place.
I couldn't think of a better word, Vince. I was trying to think of something.
He goes in this burger place and just absolutely brutalizes these guys. And there was the one scene where he reaches in and he punches that dude's asshole and grabs his intestines and yanks his intestines out the dude's asshole. That's very Troma. And
but the rest of it felt more like the Toxic cartoon than the Troma movies.
Well, and I think that that's what this was doing. I think it was blending those two sort of. they knew that Toxic Avenger, the most recent chapter of Toxic Avenger is the animated, more family friendly sort of, because the cartoon was very family friendly.
Yeah, but Terror Firmer happened after the cartoon.
But that was not Toxic Avenger, was it?
There's a scene with Toxie.
He was in that.
He makes a couple scenes.
Okay, but it wasn't a Toxic Avenger movie.
No.
And I think that the character in the brand was having to navigate like, well, we've got people that remember us from the cartoon. We've got people that remember us from the movie. Like, how can we make something that's got a little bit of everything? And they were like, well, then we just have to get Elijah Wood and Kevin Bacon. And I thought,
man,
they were both great.
Dude, Kevin Bacon was such a great bad guy, and Elijah Wood was just like a creepy butthead. And I think that they did really well on, like, them and Peter Dinklage, like the acting caliber.
Without
of those
them, this
three,
would not have been as good of a movie.
I don't know about that. Listen, I liked it. I did not dislike this movie. It was fun, but it wasn't the trauma movie that I wanted as someone who likes trauma movies.
Correct.
So by it not being in Traumaville, and it not being like a full-on B movie, and it not being Melvin, but instead Winston, and all this, the change-ups, threw me for a loop a bit, I guess. I'm trying to think of better ways to say
doctor character
things.
in the woods, I thought that was a great scene.
That dude was funny.
That was funny. I had a really good time.
There were parts of it that I enjoyed, but it wasn't what I was wanting an unrated trauma movie to be.
I will say that for claiming it to be unrated and having all the controversy about it not being released for so long, it did not hit those marks. Let's not get it twisted. But as Star Punch says on Twitch, the concert scene was bonkers, where they start murdering all those people.
The concert scene, the whole thing with like the ICP guys and stuff, like
the parkour guy.
Yeah, he just killed himself.
And the dude like goes, "Will you stop flipping?"
Yeah. The ICP guys were really funny, and it was very trauma of that to be like, take something that's just not even in the view of pop culture barely at all anymore, and to just make that like a thing, like it was a movie out of time. And like that was a funny trauma bit of it. They're like, what's the worst idea we can think of? Yes, let's do that
one.
Yeah, I liked that part of it.
And they set it up for a decent sequel, and I would watch one if they could go. If this was proof of concept and they could push the envelope further, I'd like to see that. I did think that the after credits scene at the very end of the movie was the best thing ever.
It was so good.
Where he's just cooking, he's like teaching you how to make a grilled cheese and talking directly to the camera. So good.
I'm gonna be honest, I did not like the design of Toxie in this.
Really?
I didn't like the big eye. I didn't like that.
Well, because Toxic Avenger has like shifted eyes.
Yeah,
they're the same shape, but one is up and one is down.
I didn't like the big remote eyeball.
But I like that he used it as a tool. He like popped it out so he could like look around the corner.
See, I didn't like that stuff, and I didn't like that he wasn't as strong, and I didn't like that he wasn't as much of a do-gooder as original Toxie. Because original Toxie was all about revenge against people that had harmed him and the other little guy, and this one didn't have that same it didn't have that same feel to it. Like, he did a couple of cool things and helped people, but most of the movie was the setup rather than the morph and then like getting Toxic Avenger, and it didn't have that same corrupt level of like local government that Toxie was fighting against with the corrupt mayor and the corrupt cops but I think that if they do a sequel, it could go. They opened it up to that. I think that was because they did, kill that company that was a company town. It was like, well, I just thought about they literally made Toxic Avenger the little guy.
Right. He's the little guy. He's the littlest of us all.
Yeah. He wasn't quite Toxic Avenger as I know him, but I think if this is your intro to Trauma and Toxic Avenger, it would probably be a safe
It's a little
place
kiddie
to
pool.
start.
It's a little kiddie pool for
You might get some shock when you go into the real stuff, though.
Yes, most certainly.
But
certainly.
overall, it
was enough to get the bucket.
I bought it before the movie.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, well, but you weren't unhappy with it.
No, the bucket's rad.
Yeah, look, Tromaville, New Jersey. Says the bucket right there.
But not the movie.
Okay, well, it's out. It's not in theaters. It'll probably hit VOD very soon.
Oh, I'm sure.
If not,
It's-
like tomorrow.
It's worth a watch just because it's fun.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun. So, all right, you can check that out. I recommend it. Support that movie. Even if we didn't like absolutely love the hell out of it, like support that movie so we can see more movies like it.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way we get to see more movies like this is by supporting movies like this. If you ever listen to anything that I say on the show, it is support these smaller movies, because if you don't, we're only gonna get fucking James Gunn movies for the rest of our lives.
If they release Toxic Avenger on VHS, man, my brother will be ecstatic.
That'd be fun. Okay, well, I'm going to talk to you about the new Conjuring movie, Conjuring Last Rites, which is what I saw this week, which I think makes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, the 9th installment in the Conjuring universe. This movie is the 9th movie this real, based on a real, don't mistake it. These are real people that made real, based on a true ass story. They were real. You can Google the Warrens. They're so real. And they've got 9 movies of them basically being Ghostbusters, but not Ghostbusters, which they made fun of in the very first frame. The Warrens are in a lecture where nobody cares. It's kind of like the beginning of Ghostbusters 2, where they're that ghost, the birthday party, and everyone's like, "You guys fucking suck," and they're just doing the dance, and then someone throws cake at them and they suck. Well, this one, they're sitting in a lecture hall in a university in the 80s, in like 1986, and everyone's like, you guys are like the Ghostbusters, right? And they're like, no, we never busted ghosts, and they're wanting to kind of retire, and they get one more job.
Well, they should have done like Casper and got Father Guido Sarducci to come help them with the exorcism.
Well, they did have a character in this that was their pocket father that would roll around with them, and of course he meets a tragic end in the movie, and that's what spurs them to go take this one last case that involves like their daughter, who also has like psychic abilities like her mom. So it's like Lorraine and Judy both having psychic see ghost powers. And this let me just go ahead and say, like, the Conjuring movies, I thought the second one was probably the best one. It was James Wan was still making. He made the first and second Conjuring movies, and James Wan is a talented guy. He generally knows how to start a franchise, and then he walks away and lets everybody absolutely bastardize everything that he's set up. I mean, the Swamp Thing series that he did was actually really, really good.
Oh, he did the TV show?
He did the TV show, and it was good.
The one that everyone loved, and they canceled it before it was done. They always do that, like Tick and Swamp Thing.
Yep. They're like, it's not viral yet. And they're like, well, because it's actually good. Give it a fucking second. And they're like, nope, canceled. So the problem that I have with the Conjuring universe is the second Conjuring movie was Annabelle. Okay? And because Annabelle was so iconic. So it was The Conjuring and then Annabelle.
It was that early?
Yes.
I thought there was way more than one movie ahead of the spinoff.
So, because Conjuring was the first one, and Annabelle was in their room of items, right, that they have. And they're like, ooh, what's this?
When we've talked about it in the past, it's like the spinoff to the sequel to the spinoff to the sequel to the original.
Well, because they did that. So in the timeline of Conjuring, it was The Conjuring, and then Annabelle, which was a sequel based on a prop that was in the first one. And then they go, well, let's make The Conjuring 2, which was a sequel to the first one. But then they made Annabelle Creation, which was a prequel to the second movie, which was based off of the first movie, which was a prop in the first movie. And then the next one, the fifth one, was The Nun, which was based off of a prop in the second one that turned into its own movie. But then the one after that was Annabelle Comes Home. So Annabelle Comes Home was a sequel to the prequel to the movie that was about the prop from the first movie. And this is where it gets fucking stupid. And then they had The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, and that one was dumb. Then they did The Nun 2, which that one was dumb. And then La Lorna is technically supposed to be in the...
Llorona.
I'm calling it La Lorna. Because... Llorona. But that one's technically in the Conjuring universe, but not officially. And then now we're at The Conjuring Last Rites.
Well, and what's crazy is that according to these dates, The Nun came out in 2018, September 7th, 2018.
Yes.
Which was 7 years ago yesterday. There's no way it's been 7 years since The Nun came out. There's no way.
Well, The Nun 2 was in 2023.
No, dude, I'm saying the original one because I remember those trailers and I remember walking by it in AMC and be like,
That's how all... Well, I mean, there has been a Conjuring...
What?
There has been a Conjuring movie pretty much in theaters every single year since 2013. It only took a break after The Nun 2 and COVID. So there wasn't one in 2022, and there wasn't one in 2024. But 2013, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21, 23, and 25 all had Conjuring movies. And... there is a lot of dumbassery going on in this franchise. But I will say the ones that have the Warrens in them, those are pretty good. And Conjuring Last Rites is one of these movies it's pretty good. It's fine. It does what it needs to do. It's like, there's a demonic presence in the house. There's ghosts. Oh, my God. We got to call these people. Well, maybe let's stop a VHS. We see a picture. Somebody gets thrown across the room. Pots and pans are rattling. A baby doll turns upside down. And then you get these people, and they go, I sense presence. And then a rocking chair goes, wah, wah, wah. And then all of a sudden there's a face in the dark. And then like the main character... Ed Warren's like, my heart can't take no more of this. And they go, you can't do this again, your heart. And he's like, well, I'll do it one more time. And then Lorraine's like, I shouldn't because they're evil. And then
they do these accents.
Well,
do they do these like Mississippian accents?
I do it because it's so stupid, and because it's so.
You heard it here, Mississippians.
Mississippi, because y'all are the only one dumb enough to believe this shit's real. And sorry, Mississippi, we love you. Home of the slug burger. But anyway, these are so repetitive and formulaic that it kind of just gets eye rolling. And the problem that I had with this movie, again, walking out of this movie, it did its job.
The problem you have is they walked in that fucking house and they go, show yourselves.
I mean, they did. Actually, she walks right in. She goes, I feel a presence. We got to go. And they're like, when have you ever backed down away from a ghost? And she's like, today, because it's kind of, and it's like, because the ghost wants her daughter, like their very first case ever was like this, spooky fucking demon mirror, and then she goes up and touches it, and it's like, oh, my fetus, and it like her fetus is like touched by a demon, and then she has the stillborn baby, and they're like, please, dear God, give our baby a soul, bring our stillborn back, and then the baby's like, meh, and they're all happy, and then like the baby's like,
it turns out it's that movie where the devil cult makes them
Rosemary's Baby, and then like 25 years later, this mirror shows back up in New Jersey or Pennsylvania or wherever the fuck they were, and they show up and it's like the same cracked mirror, and they're like, oh my God, we can't be here, it wants my baby. And
what would make it better is if they were in like Vermont or like they were in like Oregon or something, and they're like, show yourself, phantoms. And oh my God, y'all
did you see that chair rocking? Oh my God,
I'm so scared right now.
Let's get out of here.
Gone,
ghosts. Be gone with you. The power of our Lord Jesus Christ compels you.
Y'all. Show your seals. Show your seals.
Compels all y'all, because there was like 4 ghosts. There was a demon that was like tricking these other 3 ghosts into like spooking up the whole house, and it's ridiculous. But the part that made me the most pissed off, I haven't even got to this part, is in the movie. This movie has absolutely fucking nothing to do with Annabelle at all. But they also want you to remember that Annabelle was like their most marketable deal. So Annabelle, they like cut to the doll and just the characters in the movie thinking about Annabelle. They're like, oh, but yeah, Annabelle, and it shows like her face in a doll, and they're like, remember that? And they're like, yeah, remember, audience, you guys remember Annabelle? We're like, okay, yeah, we got it. And they're like, well, maybe it's Annabelle, and then they're like, well, no, this is definitely a different ghost. But what if it is Annabelle? Y'all remember Annabelle, right? Scenes of Annabelle. I'm like, fuck, okay, we got it. But people liked Annabelle.
So is the whole thing with the mirror and the doll just that they're really bad at defeating the ghost and stuff? They're just like...
It was their first ghost.
Well, they're like, hey, listen, y'all. We're not going to be able to make them just go away forever, but we can make them leave you alone for now.
That's right. We'll take this artifact off your hands, put it in our flea market of horrors, and just...
That's called job security, honey.
That's right. We're going to lock it up in our spooky flea market, and...
They have the Chinese dude from Gremlins.
It's just there.
Oh, you don't want that?
No, you don't want that one.
Sweetie, no, you don't want that. That's... And
don't you feed that after midnight now.
And they're like, oh, I'll take it. And they're like, oh, well.
Well, okay, money's money. $100, $100.
Now you just give me a call when creepy stuff starts happening.
Or don't. Yeah,
they're all Southern women now.
It was ridiculous. Dina on Twitch says, I always thought that they were trying to imply that the demon in Annabelle was the one making all the shit happen through the whole series. If they didn't do that, then they were real bad at the narrative. And, you know, they tried to imply that, but that if that demon was the Annabelle demon, then they did a bad job of telling a story that made any fucking sense. Because if Annabelle is coming through all the time, that particular demon, then why is it that the very first thing and the very last thing are so closely related, but then Annabelle is just peppered in scenes, but when they stop it at the end, Annabelle's still like the doll in the case. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And there's a whole love plot with their daughter and this bumbling dickhead of a fiance that's like trying to ask Patrick Wilson for permission. Of course, Patrick Wilson's like, you have to beat me in ping pong at this barbecue to win. And I'm not making that up. That was a real scene. And they're like, come over to this barbecue and we'll play ping pong together, and you got to prove that you give my daughter's hand in marriage. You know she sees demons, right? And at the very end, you know, after they've all like gotten their shit kicked backwards by a spawn from hell, he's just like, welcome to the family. You're just like, fuck this, you know? But it made like $200 billion, and you know, I know they said this is the last one.
No chance.
It may be the last The Conjuring movie, but if you ever for a fucking second think that they're not going to pick some dumbass rotten toy out of that like haunted spooky flea market and not make another movie out of that, be like, ooh, the carousel, and it's just like a fucking music box that has a dumbass demon in it. Yeah, you know they're going to do that.
Evil dolls.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a whole shelf full of plot lines here that you know, choose one.
Carl said we need to be retelling movies like how we used to do all the time.
Yeah,
like that.
We need the R-rated. Like, look, this is going to be a stream. This one's got curse words in it, and we're going to just reenact movies, and we're going to drink whiskey and reenact movies.
That used to be a thing that I did.
And but why does it all turn into like dumb redneck Southern women? Like that's
I don't do stuff like that often. I just thought it was funny that you were doing that this time. Yeah, because I thought that
it's the funniest dumb accent you can make.
Big tickled about it. Like if they're in Los Angeles and they're just like, "Oh, sweetie, no." Yeah, they're just. Yeah, just like
I don't think you can handle that one.
Like a Mississippi Karen.
But the whole reason is that accent. That's the accent that you can do. You can make fun of that accent, and it's totally cool. Like, I mean, you can't go, oh, thank you for coming to. We can't do that. We can't do that one. Now, you know, oh, you do that one spooky painting. Like, and I didn't even tell you what accent that is. But you already know that I can't be doing that shit on my show. But you know what I can do, man? I can do this dumbass voice, and it's fine. So yeah, that's why they always get the butt of the joke, is because it's safe comedy. Yep. Ed Gwynn from Pet Cemetery. Wait, how's he going? He's like, y'all don't be crossing the street now. Whatever.
Over there.
Over
You
there.
don't want to go over there.
The Pet Cemetery over there.
Oh, that road? You don't want to take that road.
Go across that road. Okay, well, there we go. The Conjuring, Final Rites.
Sometimes dead is better.
It's better. It's in theaters right now. You can check it out. And we got to do box office because this show's been...
Thanks, Carl.
The show's been going on a little bit long in the tooth. So we gotta wrap it up. So we're gonna give you the box office roundup for the past week. I want to find out where Toxic Avenger landed. Okay, damn, didn't make a whole lot of money. Woof. I'll go ahead and jump with that one. Toxic Avenger was number 20. It's only showing this past week, was only in 700 theaters nationwide. It only ended up making about $2.8 million at the box office.
Shows that it opened at number 11 last week.
So yeah, I mean, it didn't quite make it in the top 10, but and yeah, it was in 1,200 theaters though.
Dang, look at that one, number 18.
The Breakfast Club re-release, we didn't get that.
No, we didn't. But it opened at number 18. Breakfast Club made $300,000.
Hey man, don't you forget about me. All right, Jake's gonna give you the top 10 movies in America from the September 5th through 7th, starting with number 11.
Yes, I was going to say, I want to do number 11.
We're going to start with number 11 and work our way to number 1. So go ahead and take it away.
Because at number 11, dropping from the number 2 spot, but still pretty impressive, Jaws, in its 50th anniversary re-release, has brought in just under $1 million, bringing it to $12.3 million in 2 weeks for a movie that was out 50 years ago. And the crazy thing is, it was at number 2 last week. Last week had nothing good except for Toxic Avenger. It was number 2. Yeah, it was a big deal because it beat
badass.
It beat 3 new releases.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But Jaws in the movie theater is an experience, and if you haven't got to do it, it is worth doing. If you can find it still.
Theaters were like, we're going to need a bigger theater.
Yeah, if you can find it still, it says it was in 2,100 theaters. Go watch it. Jaws in the movie theater, you can see things you didn't see at home. You can hear things you didn't hear at home. There's
it's like drinking the black blood of the earth in Big Trouble in Little China.
Right.
Remember that scene? Where it's like, what's this do? He goes, you can see things you've never seen. You can hear things you never heard.
With the grandpa from Three Ninjas. There's parts of the score that you pick up, and there's things that you see that you just don't get at home. It is amazing.
The scene where the monologue where they talk about the USS Everybody Dies is such a good scene.
Every scene's a good scene. Jaws in the movie theater is worth going to see if you have not ever done it before.
The beaches are open.
But at number 10, dropping from the number 8 spot, Superman, 9 weeks out. Brought in 972,000, bringing it up to 353.2 in the U.S., another 260 elsewhere in the world, so a little over 600,000 for the Man of Steel. And then
600 million.
Oh, yeah.
614
$614 million. And then I'm doing the trauma thing of outdated stuff. Opening at number 9, Light of the World, a movie about Jesus Cristo, $2.4 million for that one. We got that movie for some reason, but not Breakfast Club. And then at number 8, The Bad Guys 2 brought another $2.5 million in its 6th week out. Wow, it's already been out 6 weeks.
That feels weird.
Yeah, $77.7 million for that one. Another $113.8 elsewhere in the world.
It's crazy that it did more internationally than here, but
animated movies do really well elsewhere in the world. And then at number 7, The Roses.
My mom went and saw that and said she really liked it.
Second week out, did not know that was from Disney. Wow. Second week out, $2.75 million, bringing it up to 12.2. Another 20 million elsewhere.
So, spoiler alert for those of you that want to see The Roses. I asked my mom, because I'm probably not going to see this movie, because I really like the original movie. And I said, because you heard me on the show, if you're talking about it, I was like, I don't think that they're going to push the envelope enough and make them kill each other at the end. And they did.
Oh, wow.
She said, yeah, they both died in the end.
I mean, the trailer has them pointing guns and stuff at each other.
Yeah.
So. And then at number 6, holding the number 6 spot, Fantastic Four: First Steps, 7 weeks in, brought in $2.8 million, and has brought in only $270 million in the U.S., another $245 elsewhere in the globe, bringing it up to a little over $500 million. Now, even though it has made that kind of money, and at its first week of release, everyone's like, well, Fantastic Four did it. They're bringing in money from Marvel. Now that it's been out for a little bit, people are being like, Fantastic Four did not hit the way that they wanted it to.
We thought it was going
and
to.
it is now being mostly regarded as not much of a big success there. So the first 2 weeks, like we tell you, sometimes things are misleading. $500 million is not anything to scoff at, but of course Disney wants more. And then at number 5, dropping from the number 3 spot, Caught Stealing, second week out, 3.2 million brought in by that. Another Peter Dinklage movie there. 12.8. Or no, that's not that.
No, that's the Darren Aronofsky action.
It's the other one with the thief. Caught Stealing is the one with Elvis. Yeah. So 12.8 million brought in by that one in its second week. I was reading the thing about that Channing Tatum movie, and he's a thief, and that's why I was thinking, the stealing thing. And then at number 4, somehow holding the number 4 spot, Freakier Friday, $3.8 million in its 5th week out, has brought in almost $88 million at the theater, another 55 elsewhere, so 143 million total for that one. Weird that it's still holding that spot. And then losing the top spot, Weapons, down at number 3, $5.2 million, 5 weeks out, 142.9 million bucks. Another 110 elsewhere, so a little over 250 million for it. That one, I wonder if it dropped because they're talking about being able to watch it at home already. And then at number 2, Hamilton.
Yeah, right? A re-release of Hamilton.
Took the number 2 spot. Something that I didn't even see about because it's only in 1,800 theaters. $10 million brought in for the opening week of a re-release of the big screen Hamilton.
It's just a live Broadway. That's the power of Hamilton. Speaking of Broadway, guess what I bought tickets to last night?
Did we already have the Michael Jackson show?
No. This is in St. Louis. I'm going to St. Louis to see a Broadway production.
The Nerd.
No.
Little Shop of Horrors. No. Spider-Man. Oh, nice. Okay.
Bottom. Yeah, dude. I got tickets to. They're obviously.
Haven't you already seen Phantom?
Dude, Phantom is the
real Broadway.
Fucking best. Yes, I have. And they retired it. They closed that theater, and they're doing a very select couple of theater
that the Phantom of the Opera
the Phantom was in the same theater for X. I mean,
but like the story. You know
he's probably still there.
He's in the rafters.
So Dina on Twitch just came in and says, "Wait, you like one musical? You obviously have not been paying attention to."
Bo likes stage musicals.
I like going to the theater and seeing it on stage. I will fuck with a musical in person any day of the week. I do not like watching them on
musicals
TV.
On stage are way different than movies. There's lots of fun musicals like on stage, like the ones that I just said. Little Shop of Horrors is always good. Rocky Horror Show, not the picture show, but the Rocky Horror Show is a lot of fun.
But anyway, I got my tickets.
Is not a musical.
I'm going to St. Louis. I'm going to go. I bought 2 tickets. I don't know who I'm going to take with me, but anytime I go to a show like that, I always buy 2 tickets just because. Like I don't want to go by myself. But yeah, the Phantom of the Opera. I'm gonna go see it. So anyway, all right, number 1.
And then at number 1, the one you just talked to us about, The Conjuring: Last Rites. Dang, $84 million. It crushed this week. Another 110 elsewhere in the world. So it's already brought in $194 million. Jesus. 84 million. How many movies below it need to add up to be that? It's probably every other movie available.
So Dina, who is our on Twitch, she's our resident box office like guru, and she comes in on the chat and she says, "Horror is a recession indicator." I'm telling you guys, and she's not wrong And we've been doing this show long enough and doing box office reports long enough that is very accurate. And I see these patterns and these trends in the bar world too. You can find certain products, you can find certain things that people like Labubus are a recession indicator as well. Because it's like and I won't go into the economics and the psychology and economics behind it, and that's a whole nother podcast. But she's right. And there are indicators there that prove like the way that human behavior reacts to certain things and how we spend and how we consume in the face of fear and financial down spiral. Anyway, it's really fascinating stuff, but we're going to be seeing a lot more horror movies. I tell you that. So I guess buckle up for that. Anyway, all right. Well, I guess that's it.
That's it.
Are we done? We're done. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We're here every week, most of the time, unless we're traveling. Monday nights, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, right here. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitch. You can find us on YouTube. Or you can just download this podcast wherever you like to download podcasts. Just search for the Drive-In Speakerbox Podcast. Learn how to spell Drive-In. Learn how to spell Speakerbox. It's... Ask ChatGPT to find the Drive-In Speakerbox podcast. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
As you leave the theater, folks, please be careful. Don't let this happen to your car. Be sure to remove the speaker before you leave. If you should accidentally pull a speaker loose, please turn it in at our snack bar or box office. Thank you.
Okay. Goodie box time. I know bonus content. I had to stop the podcast, and we had to turn on the lights and the air conditioner because it's hot as fuck in here.
Dude, it's getting toasty.
Okay.
Toasty.
Speaking of Mortal
Kombat, yeah.
Okay. Well, let's see. Here, my mics are really hot. Let me start encoding that. Will you get the box? Whatever this week is, while I start encoding the podcast. For those of you that don't know, for those of you that are still sticking around here, now that so you're wondering why we do all that stuff, because we record a podcast. I don't like to edit things because I'm really, really busy and I don't have a whole lot of time to just sit and edit shit. So what I do is we record it live, but just kind of like a newscast. And we do all the pre-show and all that stuff beforehand, but I record it and then stop it at a point where I'm like, all right, all I got to do is just upload this shit now. I don't need to worry about editing or anything like that. So now I am encoding the MP3. Give me just a moment. Let's see here. And explain the goodie bag, Jake.
Well, as you can see in the comments here, old Star Punch wrapped up some VHS tapes and delivered them to us, numbering them for different weeks to be opened. And now we're on week number 5.
Yeah.
And sometimes, a lot of the time, there's a theme, or he'll
or they're
match
linked
them to
somehow.
Personality, or sometimes only he knows why. But that's what makes it a goodie box, is that there's things in there.
All right, let's see what we got.
That we discover treasures of yore.
All right, ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
Nice.
Lethal weapon.
Loaded weapon.
Okay, that's pretty good. Here, well, where's the upper cam? Boom.
There it is.
What a combo.
Yeah.
Man, Central Arkansas must just have a lot of VHS stores. So, yeah, Lethal Weapon, 2 cops. Glover carries a weapon. Gibson is one. He's the only LA cop registered as a lethal weapon. So really they marketed it as Mel Gibson's the lethal weapon?
Mm-hmm. That's the whole thing, because he's Danny Glover's the veteran.
Too old
you know?
for this shit.
Yeah.
One of the best, most exciting police action thrillers since The French Connection, says Jeffrey Lyons from Sneak Preview. I don't know about that. Fierce, fast, and frequently funny, Lethal Weapon fires off round after round of can't-miss entertainment.
Lethal Weapon's a good-ass movie.
Lethal Weapon is a good-ass
Plus
movie.
the Coors product placement. That's what make Riggs and Murtaugh best friends, is sharing a Coors on Murtaugh's boat while it's sitting in his driveway.
Oh, what a young Samuel
And it's a
Jackson.
Christmas movie.
It is a Christmas movie.
Lethal Weapon's a great Christmas movie.
I like how it says, oh my God, they're on video. Rent it now before someone else does.
Rent it now before someone else.
Yeah. Let's see.
Good picks.
I'm trying to find the... The bad news. An entire city cowers in dread as the mean streets are stalked by a pair of hyper-vigilant, trigger-happy, heavily armored neurotics. The good news? They're cops. Join them for the preposterously whack-a-buddy action comedy horror thriller, that was all hyphenated there, that spoofs every blockbuster hit from Lethal Weapon to Silence of the Lambs, Basic Instinct, Wayne's World, and more.
Wait, they spoof Wayne's World? They spoof
I guess
a comedy that
Party
has
Time,
spoofs
excellent.
in it?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
What the heck? Okay. Well, dudes and dudettes, thanks for joining us.
I like how it has to tell you who Emilio Estevez and Sam Jackson are.
Well, because that was a long time ago. I mean, look at how young Sam Jackson was.
But this is when they were like big in there. It's like Emilio Estevez from The Mighty Ducks and Young Guns 1 and 2. People know who he is by this point. Sam Jackson, Jurassic Park.
He's redeemed. I thought I limited how many redemptions we could do of this.
Pretty good. The man has to drive.
Not right away. I've got monsters to build.
I had a Monster to drink.
Monster Energy drink.
Not sponsored.
Well, okay. Now that I've gargled Irish whiskey on camera, I've been drinking with you. Oh, isn't it fun? We're all drinking buddies here. It's just like COVID. Okay. All right. I'm going to upload this podcast, episode 1071. Toxic Avenger and the Conjuring, Last Rites. Yep. 1071 physically recorded episodes. That's not counting all the ones that haven't been physically recorded. It's a lot of episodes.
Yeah.
We done did it to him. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. The hee-haw of podcasts. Well,
Okay.
I'll take that. All right.
Hey, it hurts when I do that. Don't do that.
Don't do that. All right. Later, dudes.